So the two things I find useful, I guess, about drawing are firstly as a kind of I use it more as a research tool than actually making drawings to sell or exhibit or anything like that. And so it provides a kind of a space to sort of to observe, to sense, and to kind of understand a situation or a environment or a place, and which then kind of develops into other work. Or I can use drawing also to develop those ideas, to communicate with other people about those ideas, to take them forward. And then the other aspect of it is that it provokes kind of curiosity in other people, because drawing is something we all share. We've all made drawings. As we kind of move towards being adults, we sometimes drop drawing as an activity that we use or do. But people are always curious from my experience, if you're in the street making a drawing, people come over, want to see what you're doing, want to talk to you about why you're doing that, and that kind of helps bring people into your process. So then you start to have conversations, start to build relationships through that kind of simple act of drawing. So I was just going to share before. I've got just 3 kind of simple, short drawing exercises for us to have a go at this morning. But before, sorry, this guy's this little man's banging the computer. I'm just going to share a couple of examples of work that I've made, so to kind of give a bit of clarity to what I just said, I guess. So this guy's going to go. He's off. So I'm just going to share some images. Here we go. So can you all see that? Okay. So this was a map. This is a map of London. This was a student project I made a long time ago, where I went around the streets of London and I asked about 500 people to draw me a short map of directions from where we were to a landmark nearby, kind of exploring the idea of everyone being able to draw or not, or struggling to draw, but trying to kind of explore it as something that we can still use, that might have been forgotten. And then also it was the idea was to create this map from a kind of bigger map of London from lots of small maps, so lots of contributions kind of accumulating into this big wider view of the city. So along the top here are just a few examples of the actual maps. And what's really nice about drawing as well for me is the kind of is the simplicity of it, the immediacy of it, and the intimacy of it. You know, that we all draw differently depending on our ability, our practice at it, and also our experience, how we see the world, what we pick up on to actually draw, to kind of communicate in our drawings. So I out of asking 500 people, I got about 250 maps, I think. So a lot of people, half the people said yes, and I just approached them as strangers. But I really like the different ways in which, seeing how people try and work out how to communicate space, or how they understand or order the space of the city that they live in, and how they imagine it, basically, the sequence and how things relate to each other, things like that. So this kind of idea of communication, and then I kind of scanned them all into a computer and printed them onto tracing paper and put them on a light box. So I kind of overlapped them to make a big map of London. So yes, looking at drawing as something we all share, but also a way to bring people into a project. So I didn't make a single drawing for this, but it was a way of making something which kind of grew on its own, which I just oversaw. And then the Victoria and Albert Museum in London, which I think you've been to, right, with Ella. So I was an artist in residence there as well, like Ella was, and I used drawing there again, my own drawing this time. So they had a big construction site which they wanted to be documented by an artist that wanted an artist to make work in response to the sense of transformation that was taking place within the museum at that time. So so my idea, one of the ways in which I approached it was to make this big scroll. So this drawing is about 15 meters long, and I kind of this board, I kind of shifted the paper along each day and drew a little bit more. So it's quite a big drawing. It's quite a grand drawing when it's finished. But the way I was working on it was a little bit at a time. It was about the kind of small gestures of the construction which kind of create the building. So it was trying to mirror that. But again, it was it provoked kind of curiosity within the museum and also on the building site itself. So builders would come up to me and kind of we'd talk about what I was drawing. This particular drawing is all about the builders. It's all about their movements, their range of movements, their kind of performance and their gestures, which all create the piece of architecture. Yeah, so being like a beacon to stimulate curiosity, so that's drawing people in again. And also, like, what I find as well is, because I work a lot in different situations where often I'm invited to do that, like with the residency, V&A invite you to do that. Other times I take it upon myself to go into a space like maybe a street market or something like that, where no one's asked you to do it, and you just kind of create a project there, a self-initiated project. And I find that with drawing, people do approach you. So in order to, like in those situations, the work I go on to develop depends a lot on people's trust and permission from other people. So to build that trust, it's good if people approach you because they're less suspicious. If you've kind of drawn them towards you rather than you going up to them and trying to kind of open them up. They've already come to you because of this sort of simple act of standing around being curious about what's happening in a place. And then so here it's like, so this drawing was basically a spine to the residency. So a lot of other work kind of came off the back of it. So work that is far beyond, it is not drawing, basically, is kind of goes into performance or sculpture or installation. And on this particular, one of the projects that came from this was actually a bowling competition using concrete, which was arriving on the site. So the bowling competition had two teams, one team from the museum and one team from the builders, the construction guys, because the two groups never meet. The builders are in their sort of in their space making the building. The museum people are away, and they're kind of they're anxious for the building to be finished to have it. So they don't really communicate, the two groups. So I thought it'd be a nice idea to try and bring them together in this kind of sporting competition. And the origin of this came from repeatedly drawing someone who was working with concrete on the site. They were performing something called a slump test. So every time a concrete lorry turns up on site, they test its workability, and just kind of a bit of detail. But the guy who used to test this walked up and down this ramp on the site with a bucket of concrete, and because I was really interested in what he was doing, so I was drawing him. Then I went to talk to him and showed him the drawings and asked him what he was doing, all of this, and he started to give me the concrete. And I started to make things from the concrete, and I was interested in the ramp he was walking up and down as well. So we created this bowling game, which was something that kind of came about through a collaborative sort of thought process with museum staff and with the builders as well, in terms of material and the way in which it might work. So again, this kind of just simply by drawing that person led to this, but also to the idea of the builders actually closing down the building site for an hour, which costs a huge amount of money in order to have this, to make the unnecessary necessary, because of the initial drawings, because there's a kind of a way to communicate what your idea is, and people take it more seriously when they see that you've gone through these steps and thought about this really a lot. So, and then lastly, again, lastly, this is in Mexico. Again, this is where turn up without any permission, and I went around Mexico just sitting with people who were individuals who were working in workshops who were making things or working in kitchens, people who were working on their own or in small groups with their hands, making things like shoes, orange juice, lunch, cleaning the street, anything like that. So this initial idea of sitting with people and drawing just their hands, created a lot of drawings, a lot of material, but it also created a space where we had conversations about what they were doing, about their choices in their labor, in their careers, and it led to these initial drawings led to a larger exhibition in Mexico, which was about the rhythms and systems within the city, and how, again, this kind of really small individual contributions keep the city moving. So, and then there's my website down there in the corner. I think Ella's given it to you if you are curious about any of this and want to see any more. So that's some of the work there. Do you have any questions about that, or is that all okay? Okay. All right. I'll go. So today we're going to do 3 short drawing exercises based around the window. Do you all have access to a window? Yes. So we're going to do 3 short drawing exercises. One about observation, one about speculation, and one about communication. So the first one about observation is really simple. It's to make I'm going to give you 3 minutes to make a drawing with any materials that you like, on any surface that you like. It's entirely up to you. The idea is just simply to, our windows have become very important to us in these times, that when we are sometimes stuck inside. They are a kind of window on the world out there, and they are about our immediate environment, which seems very important on many levels in this current situation. So we can, and also for me, like the window is a space of kind of almost like of daydreaming. It's a space where a reality and a kind of imagination sort of mix, where we sort of gaze out the window. We can see things, but we can also get lost in what we're seeing. And so the first one, is really just to make a really short drawing, 3 minutes I'm going to give you. And it's simply what you can see from your window. So that may be, you may choose to draw the entirety of the scene that you can see, or you may focus on just one thing out the window that you like, or the relationship between a couple of things that you see. So is everybody happy to do that? Is everybody happy? If I start at 3 minutes, any questions about that? All good? Okay. All right. I'm going to start the 3 minutes. So I won't be too strict, but let's start. Okay. Cool. Okay. Have you all started?
I'm starting.
Okay, cool. All right. Hello. Okay, I'm gonna put a timer on. Wow. That's okay, we're halfway through the 3 minutes now, guys. Okay, guys, could we stop there? Oh, I said it again. Sorry, everybody. Could we stop the drawings there? So I think there's a what I'd like to do is to take a few of you after each exercise to just show to the camera your drawing and maybe talk very briefly about what you can see from your window on this occasion. So if there's any volunteers that would do this, hopefully with the numbers we've got, we can get, like, if we take a few of you in the first one and then a few different people on the next one and then a few different people on the last one, we can get to hear from all of you. So if anyone would like to volunteer to go to talk first.
Hello, I'll go.
Oh, hello.
Joey.
Hello, Jay.
I've got, I don't know whether you can see it.
How do I get that to... Oh, yeah.
So you can sorry.
Oh, yeah, unshare.
Yeah, just stop sharing.
Stop
And
sharing.
then you
Okay.
can see
Ah,
it.
perfect. Yeah, cool. Hello.
We're in sort of, I don't know how well you can see it, it's not that defined. I have a car wash at the front, right outside. It is structured, but half the building's dark there.
Oh, sorry, that you broke up all the way through that. Could you say that quickly?
No, I can go again. Okay, so I have a car wash.
Nice.
And then this is a building site that I have behind my building, and like half of it's completed, but half of it still has the scaffolding up, and then the rest is just sky.
Nice. Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. Would anyone else like to... Thank you, Jay. Would anyone else like to volunteer?
I can go.
Oh yeah, perfect. Thank you.
This is, I don't think you can see it. See that? Can you see that?
Yeah.
It is like a yard with pebbles on the floor, and then there's the tall thing in the middle is a flagpole with no flag on it, and it's got three, it's supposed to have 3 cables attaching it to the ground, but one of them snapped because it's so windy. So there's one kind of hanging off, and then beyond that is the ocean.
Oh wow! Okay,
Nice.
Yeah, that's really nice. Where are you?
I'm in the Isle of Man.
Ah,
Yeah.
In a lighthouse.
Weirdly.
You're in a lighthouse. Ella just said. Beautiful.
Yeah, very exciting and famous for Ivy.
Yeah. Can you actually get into the bit where the light is, or?
No, it's owned by someone else. But there's 3 padlocks, but the person I'm with has got a lock picking kit, so he's trying to
get the others. Cool. Okay, thank you very much. Would someone else like to talk about their drawing?
I can share mine.
Oh, hello.
Tucker. This is my window, and I divided my window into different parts because from my window, if you look from different angles, you can see different things, and I want to put them together. And in front of my window, there are some buildings, and from another angle, there are a flower terrace and also some trees. Yeah, and you can see different things, and I put together in one window.
Nice, really nice. Thank you, Tucker. One more person. One more person.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Nice to meet you. Hi.
Yeah, I'm very bad at drawing, but I will go first. This is a window. I can see balcony just opposite my window because I don't have a balcony in my apartment. I really wanted to have one, and now it's just closed. There's another window here and a table and umbrella, very comfortable. I saw an old gentleman. He he was sitting at his balcony all day and play some jazz music, and I just opened my window and hearing his playing, and I felt that there's connection between through my window and to his balcony the other day. So I just draw this, and there are other a lot of small walls, so I saw a lot of squares, and this is the street. Yeah, this is
okay, nice, really nice. Yeah, I like that. That's cool. I think you said you talked there at the start about your ability of drawing. For me, the thing about drawing is not about the image you make; it's about the act of looking, right? And what's really interesting about drawing is it can challenge your assumptions about how you see the world, because as soon as you start to draw something, everything becomes quite strange, or you can't quite work out how things relate to each other or how things are actually formed. So it's a kind of quite an interesting exercise to sort of challenge some assumptions, or to kind of work a bit harder about how we actually see. So yeah, that's kind of something in it. Okay, I'm gonna move on to the second task now. So I'm gonna share my screen again quickly while you do that. So where's it gone? Here it is. So what I'd like you to do, no, that's 3, isn't it? 2. Okay. 2 is about, so first one's observation, this one's speculation. So I'd like you to take the next 3 minutes to make a drawing of what you will see from your window in the future, what you may imagine you'll see, or what you think you'll see, or hope to see, or fear to see. Okay, so I'm gonna put the timer on again. So, okay, off we go. 3 minutes. Thank you. Sorry, just over halfway through. Okay, can I ask everyone to stop now? And I'm going to unshare. Hang on. One second. Okay. Would have I shared? I'm not sure. Sorry, 1 second.
Are you still seeing Liam's screen? You are. Ah, okay. How do you unshare it? Oh, there you go.
Oh, sorry. There we go. All right. Sorry about that. A little technical hitch. So, okay. So, would someone like to share what they've drawn? Anyone? So we've had Joey, Peter, Tucker, and PP. Is there anyone else?
Roxanne's got her hand up.
Oh, sorry, I can't see. Oh, hello. Hi, Roxanne.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Let me show the. I want to say my first picture first, because in my present window, I can see the whole of glass of mountain because my home is near the mountain, so it's full of grain and grass. It's quite peace and tranquil here. And I think in the future it's a balcony of the whole window. So I think when I do some laundry, we have some clothes. And if it's nice weather, I can see some birds and wind. And I will plant some plants in my balcony. So I think it's quite a peaceful picture in my balcony in the future. Yeah.
Nice, thank you. Roxanne, would you like to nominate someone else to talk next? Would you like to choose the next person to talk?
Okay, maybe Song.
Okay.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm gonna show my picture. This is my picture, and I can explain it. These are two building in front of my window, and here is one person who is work with his pets, and here is people. All the people just go back to home. Here is a car just stop under my window, and all the trees and birds come back, and here is some clouds. I think maybe it's rainy today in the evening. Yeah, that's it.
Cool. Is that your first drawing or your second drawing?
Both. This one is my first,
okay.
and this one is after.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much. Would you like to ask someone else in the group to talk about their drawing?
Okay. Kate?
Kate.
I knew it, and this one isn't nice. The first one is what I can see now from my window. I don't know if you can see.
Ah, yeah.
So this is the first one. I can see basically that.
Ah, okay. Nice.
And the future, okay, it's messy, but you can see the garden. You can see some kids playing with the ball. You can see, I don't know, some person cooking, grilling, some fruit basket. So basically like a family afternoon outside in a garden.
Nice. Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. Would you like to? We're going to take one more person to talk on this round. Could you choose somebody?
Julia.
Julia. Thank you. Is Julia there?
Here. Julia, are you here? Okay, I can't see her on the list. So maybe Binoli?
Okay. Binoli.
I have a very, very bad drawing, but this is what I had. You guys see this? This was before from the previous thing. And I just have a lot of buildings, and there's this green patch here, which is right, like it's empty right now, but I imagine that it's going to be like filled, and there's going to be a building right like in front of mine. So it's kind of like really like we're like face to face, and the skyline's gonna like be filled with like buildings. Yeah,
Okay.
that's what.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's probably what's going to happen, isn't it? Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. We're going to go on to the last one now. I'm going to share my screen again. 1 second. Okay. Oh yeah. Share. Okay, so the last one is communication. So the window obviously is a way of us seeing our outside environment, but it's also like a display space, you know. So we can use it as a place to communicate with those outside. So this next exercise, I'll show you very quickly. Our little guy here has been drawing all over our window to talk to people outside. I don't know if you can you? Oh no, I've shared the screen, haven't I? Sorry, hang on a second. Stop share.
There you go.
Okay. So can you see these drawings on the window? Like that.
Quite bright.
It's a little bit bright. I'll go a bit closer maybe.
They're not very good.
They're a mixture of Ella's, Evan's, and mine drawings, and obviously our little rainbow. Oh, you know, and his window, although it doesn't actually, it looks directly onto a brick wall, which is a bit like your future, Benoli. But you can see some more drawings there.
See his dream bear.
And his dream bear.
What he dreams about.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's difficult for anyone else to see that outside, but but the idea is to use it as a display space to talk about, you know, either yourself or something which is so as I say, to something about yourself or something about the room inside. So maybe like, you know, like the way a kind of shop window works, or as a point of self-expression to communicate with the people that it's difficult to communicate with at the moment. So is that okay with everyone? I'm gonna put 3 minutes up again. So let's start it now, okay? Oh, actually, sorry. I was going to make this one slightly longer to 5 minutes because you may develop your idea while you're doing it. Okay, so 5 minutes. Sorry, I didn't say. So the way you could do that, so you could obviously draw with pens onto it, but you could also use like tape, or you could cut out shapes of paper and stick those to the window. So there's different ways in which you can approach it. So it's a little bit more. There's a little bit more process maybe than the first two, so we'll give you a little bit longer. Thanks. I can see people are still busy, so I'm going to give you like one more minute. Is that okay? Okay, everyone. I think we'll bring it to an end there. Okay. Who would like to take us to their window to show us their drawing? Any volunteers? Who wants to go first?
I can do it.
Ah, perfect. Thank you. What's your name? Sorry.
I'm Rebecca. Sorry.
Rebecca. Oh, hi. Nice to meet you. Hi.
Hi. So, what I can see from my balcony here. 엄마 잠깐만. 엄마 잠깐만 나 수업하고 있어. Sorry.
Somebody there. Oh,
So this is our garden, and then we can see the mountain outside of our apartment. So I drew my first version. Can't really see it because it's really light, but it's just basically the plants and the garden and the mountain. And then I realized this was too light, so then I switched to a pen. And then I drew the garden bigger and more flourishing with more trees and stuff. And then the third one, I drew the outside of my building and thought maybe on the windshield I can install solar panels, and then maybe able to like control it from the inside and then have it installed in our house. And then at the bottom of the window, I wanted to have like hives, and so that the bees can live in there. And then I also drew a little birdhouse, so that, I don't know, maybe we could have food and water for them. And then I tried to have the inside as well, and then drawing like electrical outlets to try to convey that it would be installed into our home system. And then I realized that I have no idea how that actually looks like, so I just gave up at that point. But yeah, that's what I have.
Okay. Would you like to nominate somebody else? Would you like to choose?
Sure. PP.
PP's already spoken, so
All right.
choose someone else.
Okay, Chengying.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi. Yeah. So, okay. Can you see my paper? It's a third thing. Have you heard about one kind of thing in the sea bottom? The name is whale fall. You see, this is a whale's body on the sea bottom.
Okay.
Yeah, when the whale died and the whale just fall on the bottom, and have a lot of fish eat their bodies. So I just imagine we are the fish, little fish, and eat the whale's body. And this whale just like our city. We just eat their blood and eat their meat. And when the bodies are finished, we just change another place to change another body.
Okay.
So this is our relationship between ours and our city. So it's introduce. I'm the fish, and the outside is the whale's body.
Okay, nice, nice.
Yeah.
And did you do any drawing on the window, or is that drawing to kind of to place onto the window?
No, actually, my window is really small.
Okay, all right. Thank you for that. Very nice. Could you choose another person to speak?
Okay. Luya.
Luya.
Yeah.
Luya? Oh, okay, yeah.
Hi.
Hello.
My drawing is really stupid.
No, I'm sure it's not.
If
Cats.
I can, I really want to draw my cats on the window because I have cats. I really want to tell anybody I have cats. Because my mom don't allow me to have any animals. So I really love animals. I don't know why. So I have a cat in my boyfriend's home every day. Every week I will go to my boyfriend's home to look them. I love them, so cute. So I really want to tell all about it. Yeah.
Tell everyone that. Okay, nice. Oh, that's great. That's brilliant.
I know someone else.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Would you be able to choose another person, please?
Well,
Who's that?
Hi.
Oh, hello.
And
hello.
This is my outside window view.
Okay.
Can you see that?
Nice. Is that a digital drawing?
Not a digital drawing, just a photograph.
Oh, okay.
And when I think how I related to to me, I saw lots of my dirty clothes. So I cut a t-shirt like a shape and put it on the window and take a photograph. And then the outside plants can be the t-shirt's pattern. So that's my photograph. Thank you.
Nice. Yeah, beautiful. Thank you very much. Could you ask another person?
Yeah.
Who hasn't spoken?
Monera. Do you want to share?
Yeah, sure. Hi.
Hello.
Hi, can you hear me? Yeah. So I used my actual window to draw in it. So I don't know if that's clear or not.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I draw ahead with all the messages or like feeling in a way to express my feelings, to communicate.
Oh, no. Sound's gone. Hello?
Strong and
so,
I felt like we can share that with my neighbors.
Sorry,
That's our feelings in that situation. I mean,
sorry, you broke up there. I couldn't hear any of that. Could you do it very quickly again?
Okay, yeah, sure.
Sorry,
yeah.
sorry.
So I used my actual windows in a way to draw and write and communicate with my neighbors. So express my feel. So like there is a messages like that I miss my friends and that I'm happy and stay safe and like stay strong, surrounded and supported my family and thankful. And I thought like sharing that with my neighbors and knowing their feelings during this time is way like it communicates with others through windows. So
yeah, nice, beautiful, very nice. Okay, thank you. Is there anyone else who hasn't spoken or wants to speak about that final one that has spoken before? Oh, Hannah wants to say something.
Yeah. Actually, can you hear me?
Yes.
Actually, I live in the center of the city, so I can only see a lot of skyscrapes and roads outside my window. I like my UK's house better because my UK's house have a beautiful garden. So I think I want to change my window with electronic screen. This is an electronic window. Like we can use technical like LED or VR. And we can change the view outside. Like we can see the ocean and or change it. We can see some desert and some beautiful sky. Yeah. So so we can just stay at home and see beautiful views around the world.
Nice. Nice. Very nice. Thank you. That's great. Okay. Is there anyone else who wants to speak? Haneen?
Yes, hi.
Hi.
Okay, so mine actually it's not a very like kind of drawing. I was just thinking of adding as a bell or something from the window, and it says like hello, like free tea or something. So because we don't have like a lot of neighbor here and we do not like meet a lot. So I just want to share like with everyone that like I'm here free to talk or chat or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Really nice. Thank you. Anybody else? How do you see if? Yeah, that one's right. Okay, I think yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you all for having a go at those free tasks. Ella's told me a little bit about the project that you have to do, and I think like drawing can be very useful in those two ways said at the beginning. First of all, in terms of your the resolution you might come to, the kind of in terms of your process, your working process in communicating or developing your skills of communicating through drawing, but also as a methodology, also for inviting other people into your process to kind of strengthen what you're doing and take you in unexpected and surprising directions, perhaps. Yeah, thank you very much for all of that. Let me know if you have any questions, but yeah. Okay. No, yeah, I think that's it.
Okay, great.